Hello to all of the North Node signs out there. This is Samara, and welcome to Feminist Alchemist. I'm just doing this recording one introduction for all of the signs. Just seemed easier. So, welcome. These readings are for the North Node and only the North Node. I don't focus on any other placement. One day I'll give you the whole story as to why. One day not far from now. But so if you're not sure if your North Node is in the sign that you are watching now, then do check out the link in the description box to the Feminist Alchemist website, where there is a North Node chart, and you can look up your birthday and see where the North Node was on that day. If you are not very clear on what the North Node signifies in your chart, it is not really a planet or an object. It's a mathematical point, and it signifies your soul's direction, your soul's longing for fulfillment in this lifetime, what it would like to experience. I do have a short video also linked in the description box where you can see how my guides have described the North Node to me, at least back when I first started digging into this topic. Yes, so these are general readings. Not everything is going to resonate with you. So just take what strikes a chord, and the rest you can leave to whoever or else in your North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. Feel free to like and share this video. Do also subscribe to the Feminist Alchemist channel. It helps me connect with your energy more strongly for the purpose of these readings and other readings that I do as well. What else do you need to know? So this spread that I use has been given to me by my guides, and every North Node session has a different we start off the same, but there's always one special kind of wild card, I would call it. And for this 3-month time period from the summer solstice until 3 months from the summer solstice, so from June 21st to September 21st, we are looking at what I will ask what past life information, what past lives specifically are being brought back into your conscious awareness now in order to aid your spiritual development, your ascension, your soul's expansion. So let me run down all of the different sections of this reading. They will all be time-stamped in the description box below for you to easily navigate and come back to at any point in this 3-month window if you want to review any section. So section 1 is your universal energies, so the highest vibrational energies they're all available to you right now, but these are the ones that are showing up most prominently for you to work with for your expansion. The second set of cards I pull are for your 5D self, higher self, future self, and messages that come from that source for what energies, parts of your life you should focus on for your highest good at this time. In the 3D, or the next set of cards is the 3D reality. That's what's showing up in your physical reality as opportunities for expansion at this time. Then I pull cards asking how to bridge your 3D reality with your 5D reality. What are the strategies that you can use to help you elevate your awareness, your consciousness, and ultimately improve your life in the next 3 months. The next set of cards I pull is the wild card. Wild cards, there's always 4 of them, 4 or more. And that, as I said, this time around has to do with what is being brought up from your soul's memories in order to be integrated into your current life. This could be your past lives. It could also be past experiences in this lifetime. And then I pull your final oracles, and that is it. I will say off, just as a little disclaimer, I am using this really awesome and very direct deck for your 3D this time. It's a tarot deck that has a lot more cards. It's called, well, I'm not really doing promo of decks, so yeah. but this particular deck, every card is unique. It has like 7 death cards in it. And I have actually only used it for myself up to now. So when I use it in this reading, I will have to sometimes refer to the book to even know which cards are which. For example, there's cards in there that don't really, show up in a normal deck. But yeah, this deck, well, when I use it, it gives me some very direct answers. It's not like it's mean. It's not a mean deck, but it's definitely blunt. It's a blunt deck, but for your highest good. So with that, I will let you now enjoy your reading, and I will see you again soon. Hello, Scorpio North Node. Welcome to your reading, your 3-month forecast. So I'm going to get right into it. Usually I intersperse like what came from the meditation throughout the reading, but I'm just going to read out everything that came from your meditation, the meditation during the pre-shuffle. So some of it, this may give you an indication if something resonates with you that from this list, that this reading applies to you. But something else may develop from it. We'll see. Anyway, my notes say meditation music, copyright concerns, waiting for a message or for a love to return, accepting, being in the present, unfamiliar territory, perfectionism, running out of time, professional image, beginner's mind, fear of looking amateur, changing mindset about your abilities and how people receive you. So those are the things that jumped out while I was doing pre-shuffling your cards. And I'll pull out your universal energies. I just felt the need to read them out just in the beginning because going back and forth sometimes I feel makes the reading a little bit more drawn out. So yeah. It looks like those are some themes that will come through this reading today. So what are your universal energies at this time? I'll bring out all the cards and then I will let you know what they are. Ooh, 44, a nice number. 16 and 26, also a nice synchronicity. Oh, there's a card flipped over here. They're like playing these jokes on me because like I didn't want to take that card because I didn't want to put 2 cards there, and they just keep giving me a lot of energy for you, Scorpio North Node. So if that card, yeah, of course it came back up at the bottom, so it belongs there. It's like I have to do it. And I was trying, to make these readings a little bit more crisp and concise, but anyway, it's just the way it goes. My body's getting really hot already right now. Scorpio North Node. Scorpio North Node. Scorpio North Node. Okay, no, they want this here. Okay. Fun. The fun of every day is different. I'm getting that impression for you as well. This like surrendering, letting go of control is a theme for you, Scorpio North Node, in the next 3 months. Now, what am I looking for? Okay. Well, it's because these cards are numbered. I have to just look at the guidebook to get the names of them, but I won't be reading from the guidebook. So this card is on target. If it wants to focus, I guess not. There we go, on target. Elemental. Then I'm guessing 44 is probably called Divine Guidance. Yes, because it's the card, that's the image that's on the deck, the box of the deck. Divine Guidance. And then we have Angelic Being. And then we have Receiving. And last but not least, we have Deeper Look. Okay, so your overall energies, Scorpio North Node, that are on offer for you in the next 3 months. You have the opportunity in the next 3 months to really reach some very significant goals in your life. You are being called to focus your energy. It will require focus of your energy, and it will require, you may be invited to delve into a magical practice or some ancestral practices that use the elements and elements from nature, things from the earth, stones, herbs, crystals. Well, I call crystals stones. Stones, herbs, working with the wind, working with the directions, like things that come directly from the planet. I do get that your life force energy will be asked to come into focus, or you have the opportunity for that. Your life force energy, for me, meaning the energy that comes from your lower chakras, your vitality, where you are putting your energy will come into play. Divine guidance, I think that, I don't want to say it speaks for itself, but for me it does. So, opening up to wisdom and support from other realms, knowing that you are supported, guided, and that the changes coming into your life are not for nothing, and they're not coming from your ego. You may have some challenges where you need to discern what is coming from your ego and what is coming from your divine guidance in the next 3 months. You have a lot of like 16 and 26, 1 and 21. Angelic being. You're being very supported by your spirit team, specifically those that are higher dimensional beings. So not ancestral realm necessarily, but angelic, angelic beings, high vibrational beings. Their guidance and support will be more, they'll send you signs that they're there. It's up to you to see them, and up to you to make the room, as this card is receiving. It's up to you to make the room to decide to receive this angelic support. You need to ask for it, and you need to make room for it to have to work in your life. And this is very apparent here in the Deeper Look card, because I feel here that you need to see what energies are at play when you ultimately decide where to focus your energy. So you will have opportunities in the next 3 months to understand your own motivations. Let's go to the 5D. What is your 5D self wanting to tell you at this time, encouraging you to focus on for your highest good and for your expansion. 5D for Scorpio North Node. 5D for Scorpio North Node. We have Divine Masculine. And okay, it's about your motivations. Divine Masculine. What are the motivations behind your actions? Is it your higher self or your ego? Tenderness. I'm just going to get all of the cards before I start talking, but that one it felt like it had to come out right away. I didn't want to forget it. Grace. You're too hard on yourself as well. Sensuality, I want that in the middle. Consciousness, sensuality, romantic love. So for some of you, if you're not already in a divine partnership, it is being sent to you. And as I say that, the card Union comes out, and it's also number 44. Do we want the other two underneath it? Okay, they say not necessarily, but I can show them to you. Authority and Alchemy came out under the Union card. I feel I should keep them there. I mean, we'll see if I actually talk about them, but I'm going to see what evolves. So, you seem to be very hard on yourself, and the motivations for your actions are coming into question. Your 5D self wants you to question why you do the things you do, why you put your energy where you put your energy, and what it is you are trying to obtain, achieve, what outcome you are working towards when you decide to take action. They want you to be more accepting of yourself as you are. Understand that you are the way, you have the characteristics and the ways of being that you have for a purpose. You may not be in the place or situation or relationships where that energy is best utilized or best expressed and best appreciated, but that does not mean that how you are is, faulty. Grace, they want you to move through life with more grace and acceptance for what comes your way, and understand that it's not because you have done anything wrong per se. Like, what is wrong? The only way you can lose is if you don't find a lesson or a healing or a transmutation of energy through your experiences. That does not mean, so they want me to make sure that you understand that does not mean that you sit around and are toxically optimistic, toxic positivity. Oh, it's all for the greater good. You can cry, you can throw things, you can yell, you can be angry. You can have a couple days where you just want to, eat gelato and watch Netflix. No problem. But it's about what is life gifting you through this? Or what are you able to gift others through your experience and through what has awakened? You need to look deeper into the circumstances of your life, the things that were unpleasant, the things that didn't go the way you wanted them to go, and find the nuggets of wisdom, the gifts within that. And when you can find those in the past, you are more likely to be able to also step into that energy in the present. You know, when that line, rejection is divine protection kind of thing. What things did not work out for you in the past that you felt kind of, down about, but at the end of the day, if that didn't happen, that your life wouldn't have moved into the next direction that actually ended up being positive for you. So those are some things that you should take time to identify. Consciousness, I'm getting the same energy kind of mixed in with grace there. It's just being aware of how grace flows through your life and how it's always flowed through your life. It's just whether or not you have been where your energy has been focused. If you were looking deep enough to see the underlying intention, message, gift of that moment. Sensuality and romantic love. Some of you are too in your head about romantic connections and how you go through relationships. Over intellectualizing. Scorpio is you remember that if you're a Scorpio North Node, it doesn't mean, depending on what the rest of your birth chart looks like, it doesn't mean that you have Scorpio traits. It's actually quite the opposite, right? Your soul wants to experience, wants to incorporate that type of energy and experience life from that perspective, with that, or interact with life from that perspective. Scorpio is deeply sensual, deeply spiritual in its sensuality as well. I mean, it can go the other way, but that's a polarity that Scorpios deal with. And they don't tend to, I mean, I'm speaking from personal experience because I'm a Scorpio sun. We don't tend to think about whether or not someone is good for us. We tend to gravitate to people and then figure out if it works out practically. But the gravitational pull has to be there first. So what I'm getting from the sensuality and romantic love is that if you're single and you have a list of things that people are supposed to be, you need to ditch your list. At least for when you first start meeting people. You shouldn't be cutting people off because they don't match your list. And this is where the perfectionism also comes in. It needs to be more organic. And if you're in a partnership already, accepting how your partner is and focusing on the positive aspects, like the parts that work really well together, and allowing the parts that are, not so cohesive to kind of not be at the forefront. Just let them be. Let them not be make it or break it. Let it be, can we find common ground? Can I accept you wholly as you are? Can I receive love from you in the way that you are able to give it? If those questions are answered no, then yes, move on. But you need to give it a chance you need to start seeing your romantic connections from a higher perspective, from a perspective of more unconditional love, of more understanding your partner as a multidimensional being with their own soul journey, and you are accompanying them and they are accompanying you. And in that, can you understand each other and keep space for each other's evolution, expansion, and love each other in that construct. When everything comes from there, then you can, and this goes for, I know I've been talking about relationships, but this goes like as advice for if you're single or seeking. no, single or in a relationship. If you're not looking for love altogether, it may be a signal for you to look back objectively at your relationships, your romantic relationships, to see what you can learn. Because union and divine guidance, you have a lot of like high vibrational, what's the word I'm looking for? Etheric energy, like not physical energy on this side. Union, some of you are very much meant to be in a very healing union, healing for yourself and healing for whichever community you actually operate in, both you and your partner. Because there's going to be so much purity of love and loyalty. Scorpios are also very loyal, right? When they choose to be with someone, they are really with that somebody, which is maybe why in the beginning they fleet. It seems like they flitter around, we'll call it flittering. Because once they are in, and accepting all aspects of the person and willing to compromise parts of their self for their partner, in an effort to make things work. So it's very important that both partners are seeing the relationship from the same perspective of, high level respect, loyalty, I'll just say spiritual commitment to each other. This is also about unifying the two sides of yourself, your light and your shadow, because there's parts of yourself that you seem not to like very much, and you seem to spend a lot of time hiding it. A lot of effort in hiding that. What else? Okay, that's it. We're going to 3D. What's showing up in your 3D reality as, what's it called? Opportunities for expansion. We have the Two of Swords and the this looks like Two of Wands. Two of Swords upright, Two of Wands in reverse. Okay, that one I definitely have to look up. It doesn't look like a standard card. 22. What would be 22? Anyway, I'll look it up. So let me just get these. They really want a lot of cards for you today. It's like it's getting doubles all the time. I think this happens sometimes because, my sun sign and your north node sign are the same. And so they're just like, I don't know. I have a lot to say when I reach Scorpio North Node, that's for sure. So we have the Eight of, looks like Wands. I just have to look these all up. And this is definitely the Five of Cups. Upright. They're both upright. And last but not least, do you want it upright or upside down? I want it this way. I have no idea what that is. So, okay, I'm going to check the book real quick. I'll just put this on pause and I'll be right back with what's what. Okay, so I haven't recorded the intro yet, but I'm sure I will say or have said in the intro that this deck is a very unique one and every card is different. It has an extra suit, it has extra stuff, so I have to look up sometimes what is what. This one is called the Two of Whips and it's in reverse. And then you have the Two of Swords in the upright. Fear in reverse. We have the Five of Cups upright. The Eight of Wands upright. And this is called Bone Fire. So an interesting conglomeration of cards here. So let's start with the Two of the two twos, the two of whips in reverse and the two of swords. So what I'm getting here is what's going on in your 3D life in the next 3 months. You will have many confrontations with hierarchy situations. And it could also be the hierarchy of your own needs. Like, they're giving me the example, should I do what feels right, like in terms of my morality and values, or should I get money, right? And it's indicating that in the short term, these decisions will seem very significant and very difficult even. But in the long term, that will not be. In the long term, you won't lose anything. In the short term, it will feel like you're losing something. Like you can't have one thing without the other. There'll be decisions. You'll be faced with decisions that really make you decide what impulse, what motivation you are going to lead with. Fear in reverse, I think, is like, this feels very much something deep within yourself. It feels like it feels like memories coming to the surface that make you think that things are going to go a way that they have gone in the past, especially when it comes to disappointments. I feel you'll be confronted with situations that feel like they're going to disappoint you, or your fear of disappointment will come to the surface, or fear of getting hurt, or fear of trauma. But it will be an illusion. They're coming up so that you know that they're there. They want you to know. So this is where like these cards at the bottom are actually coming. So I am talking about them now. Alchemy and authority is, we'll come to this one when I ask how to bridge the 3D and the 5D, but I am getting that you will be challenged to recognize that you can act differently, or that you already are a different person, and so those situations are not going to play out the same way they played out before. For some of you, I do see a returning lover, and the question of whether or not it's going to go the same way it went before. If they cheated or were abusive, we collectively don't recommend you going back, but you have free will to close that chapter however you feel you need to, but also be clear on what your motivations are. This is like just a huge overarching theme for you. What are your motivations, and is it safe for you to do so, to return? But generally, this is indicating, it says, there's the spider there. And in the reverse, the spider is not actually there. So it's like cobwebs that are memories. They indicate the spider, but the spider is not actually there. There's a lot of heartache going on. There's a lot of processing of disappointment. Like, I'm not saying that you may or may not actually have heartache in the present, in the 3 months that we're reading for, but it's time for you to make a decision whether or not heartache is going to be your main motivation, right? You will be challenged to make quick decisions to ascend this ladder here, right? You'll be challenged to make quick decisions to change your energy. Because if you look at this Five of Cups specifically, you see there's fire in those cups. So there is, there is new passion to be found. There is new spark. Are you going to take that opportunity? And because this is coming around this consciousness, sensuality, and romantic love, are you going to let disappointments of the past keep you from moving forward in the future? I get the feeling that you need to surrender some of your woes to the divine, and you need to look deeper into them. But as I said, when we go to the next round of cards, we will clarify that more. And then we have, last but not least, the bonfire. And this is about getting to the root of things. I feel it's about getting to, when things are uncomfortable for you, why are they uncomfortable? And you'll be confronted with situations where you're going to have to find out literally, what are your bones? What is your skeleton? What is the base of that everything is built around, right? What is the basis that everything about you is built around? So I find that you will find yourself being questioned or questioning yourselves, like, who am I in these circumstances? Am I my circumstance? People tend to point to people and say, oh, well, you went through this and that, so that means you're this type of person. But no, this is for you to decide how you're going to tell the story of certain things that have affected you in your life. You will also be challenged to recognize where you judge yourself for the experiences or things that you've experienced in life, and you're going to have to, decide what you are going to surrender to grace. I experienced that and it's over now, but that doesn't define me. I don't know why I'm shuffling. I already shuffled, but anyway. Sorry, continue that thought. This is about understanding the flow of life around you does not define. It may have molded some things about you, but it doesn't define who you are. If you made mistakes in a professional setting, and that has led you to think that you're not capable, right? They want you to know that the reason that you may not be capable is because you think you're not capable. And you may be in situations where people are holding it over your head, but I'm getting the overwhelming feeling that it's you holding it over yourself for having not performed the way that you would have liked to perform. Okay, so how are we bridging this 3D energy with the 5D energy? I'm also getting that aware of where you're focusing your thoughts. Oh, again, childhood innocence. Scorpio, North Node. How do you want this laid? This one is here? No, here? Mm-mm. Okay, so, and on the bottom we have volcano, volatility. So you have forest, breath, ceremony, invocation, tree, grounding, and desert, vision quest. You need to not be so hard on yourself and not fit into other people's ideas of what you are supposed to be, or what a person in your position is supposed to be. So if you are, so they give me two examples. If you are in a position of authority, you don't have to be a jerk to keep your authority. Like, you don't have to be hard on people. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be, you can be a softer personality and still lead, right? So, and then if you are, how do you want me to put it? They're just saying if you are, exceedingly beautiful, if people categorize you as a exceedingly beautiful, like physically beautiful person, and they're showing me specifically like a woman who is very attractive by the standards of her, the society within she lives, she's attractive to many people, and they expect her then to be, always to carry herself differently, to be glamorous, to, want a lot of male attention and men buying her things, that she should be more snooty and stuck up. And it's like, well, no, you can be all types of beauty and be very down to earth, right? So this is about getting back to, once again, the root of your, the root of why. What do you value? Why do you do things? Your most tender parts, like living from a heart-motivated place that you may have tucked away because it didn't seem to fit your environment or get you what you thought you wanted. That is all changing now. Changing your mindset to a more innocent one, even though you understand that people are more complex. Just being on that trajectory where you stand very firm in who you are and why you do things. But I also you need to be willing to start over new with certain things. Be willing to start over new and not be afraid of what other people say. There is time for a new beginning. It is time. It's not too late. If you're thinking it's too late or it has to be done by a certain time, that's definitely not the case. Yeah. And allow yourself to try things new and not be great at it at first, and not necessarily be 100% clear about how you're going to make it work. Because I do feel that you will be met by authority figures in particular who will try to make you think that what you're trying to accomplish is not doable, or that the person you're trying to be in, the sphere you're trying to be it in, is not doable. And that may be true. That means that doesn't mean that you should change your methodology, it means that you should change where you are operating, like with the system that you're operating within. Forest, breath, and ceremony invocation. You need to spend some significant time in nature. Well, this is coming by elements as well. You need to work with the elements to get more in the flow of life, the flow of the energies around you, to let go of certain things that you've been holding on to for too long that need to go, and to get a perspective on your life that is more dynamic. You know, A does not mean B and stays at B. Things are continuously cycling and moving. You need to help them along. I did say at the beginning that I can see you incorporating some type of earth magic, green magic, ancestral practices, which, you know, most of our ancestors in all cultures did ritual that had earth elements in it, like certain flowers, certain oils, certain herbs, having to be at a certain spot, you know, being around water, being at a lake may be significant for you, a pond, a body of water, because emotions are in there and flowing and moving. Don't be afraid to look up ceremony or to create a ceremony for yourself to help you clear away what no longer serves you and be able to see yourself, your whole life circumstances from a outside or higher perspective. Then we have tree grounding. You need to root yourself in something. I feel for some of you that you have been very adaptable to whatever situation you are in. That is not a bad thing to be, but you need to be grounded in something. And I feel that there is a disconnect from your physical existence, from your physical body, and from your own intuition, from your own impulses and intuition. The grounding, I feel, is coming from you being very aware that you are divinely protected, that you are a divine being yourself, divine being in human form, and that some of you need to ground your spiritual practice if you are investigating one, trying some things out. It's time to, you know, be more diligent about selecting what works for you. I also feel that you need to commit to the transformation that you're going through. You need to commit to the transformation, not play both sides of the fence. Like, okay, I'll entertain that as long as I'm still getting money from it, but really I want to go over there. If you're going over there, go over there. Because the change, the transformation needs your commitment in order for the other pieces to fall into place, and in order for the divine here to do its influence, to work with you to make that change permanent, or, you know, as permanent can be in our ever-changing lives. Desert Vision Quest. Ask for answers and trust that you will receive them. Ask for answers and trust that you will receive them. And dare to visualize situations where you are fully yourself and you receive full love in return for that. Do that as well with, you know, you can do a meditation where, you know, you're surrounded by all your guides and they're like, yeah, I'm putting you up on shoulders. I'm like, she's awesome. He's awesome. They're awesome. Right? And they're clapping for you and they're so happy for you. You know, it's about understanding and believing from a very deep place that you are enough and you are capable. You are already enough and you are capable of anything that your heart desires. They would like you, though, to desire to just be your full glorious self and be in an environment where your full glorious self is celebrated. You have all divine guidance on this side. All. So there's a very strong force coming in of you really acknowledging and embracing the spiritual aspects of yourself and understanding yourself as a greater being with a lot of gifts. Let's see what I always say so much in Scorpio. I'm just looking at the time. It says 4447, so you may want to look that up because you already have 2 44s in this reading. The Pathfinder. These are the cards for what is being awakened in your past life, from your past lives or from your past experiences in this life, for your expansion at this time. What will be integrated? 8 of Trees. So that was the Swan. Number 2, the 8 of Trees. And, okay. This is so great because you got Elemental here, the Elementalist. But then you also have Sleeping Ships. I mean, that's not a bad thing. And this is the Fool card in this deck, but they call it Death. And it's in reverse. Okay, so the Pathfinder. I feel like I'm going to have to read these all together, kind of. I see a Shapeshifter here, even though I think Shapeshifter is a card here. Your focus is going to be awakened. Like, you're going to really learn and really get a lot better at focusing your energy, because in a past life, you were someone who intuitively, like this is kind of down here too, but you intuitively knew where to go. I get the feeling that you were very in tune with nature, and you were able to guide people through the wilderness. And of course, there's lots of animals and insects and dangers on that journey, and you were able to guide people safely through because your focus, your ability to focus on the destination and be aware of everything that comes in, that is around you in your surroundings, was so, you were just so attuned to the environment. So what's going to awaken within you is a sense, a sixth sense or seventh sense. You're going to have many senses that will help you be very clear about people's intentions towards you, and be very clear about what works for you and what not. And you'll be very clear on what steps to take, even if other people from the outside think that you're making a foolish decision or you're not thinking long term. You are not thinking long term. You are receiving what is the next step. With the Swan, which is the High Priestess, the Swan, this feels like that beautiful woman that I was talking about. I feel here you were underestimated in your power because of something of your physical appearance. Now, this could be like you were just so beautiful that people thought that you shouldn't think, that you shouldn't have to think or labor or anything. Or you were so plain that people didn't think that you could do anything other than, work in the castle laundry room, that you were doomed to a life as a peasant. But the swan for me is this being that is much more powerful than people see on the surface. So I see a very deep inner strength being awoken in you that comes from a connection with your guidance system. So your guidance system will strengthen in the next 3 months, and you will also dare to be everything that you are that people don't expect you to be. You'll dare to be everything that you are that people do not expect you to be. The Eight of Trees, a very learned individual. So from this, I just get very clearly that some very basic soul wisdom. I mean, when I say the word basic, I feel like what it is truths that are in many different mystery schools across the cultures, across the planet, right? The ones that you hold key to or that are within you, they will be activated. And it will be like, I don't feel that you will need to enter a process of study. It will just become like clear. Something will just become clear as day for you. I have a feeling you will come into partnership, or you've already had a partnership with someone who you had a past life with in spiritual service, like in a monastery. And they're saying if you're interested in like identifying who that person is in your life, that it's somebody who you got along with there was something where you guys got along very well, but there was just another part where your value systems were very different in this lifetime, and how you looked at the world was very different in this lifetime. But the funny thing is that really deeply you operate from the same principles, but you do it in very different ways. And for that reason, that relationship may not have worked, or it's the one you're in and it's challenging. I'm going to leave that energy there. And then the last, we have the Elementalist and the Sleeping Ships. Yeah. So in a past life, or earlier in this life, this one definitely feels like a past life. Once again, magician, mystic, magical. You just understand how to work with the elements for the good of people, for the good of your community. At the same time, I feel that these cards coming together in like representing this lifetime means that your gifts went unused somehow. Like they weren't used in the full capacity that they could have been used. Why is different for all of you, for each of you. But why is this waking up in you now? It's like unfinished business. because you have the same gifts in this lifetime and you're also not using them or not using them fully. Like, well, this came up already in the beginning. It's like you're just not using them. They're not where they need to be. This could indicate that you were somehow kept from using them. Something occurred in your life that required your gifts to be dormant. You weren't in a place where you could use them, or you were prevented from using them, either by an external force, by some external force. I also get, for some of you, you are afraid of your own magic. You're afraid of your own magic. And you may find that when you do this deeper investigation, that there's a lot of you being afraid of people truly seeing you, or being afraid of the parts of yourself that you don't really know very well and therefore can't accept just yet. Let's go to your final oracles. I'm gonna have lunch. It's about that time. Lunch is my favorite meal of the day. Okay. Sorry, that was a side note. Maybe you're eating lunch right now, or you're thinking about what you're going to pack for lunch tomorrow. Final oracles for Scorpio North Node, please. Final oracles. Final messages for Scorpio North Node. Thank you. Everyone is getting the ancient forest. The ancient forest is calling. Ancient forest is calling. And on the bottom of this deck, you got Spirit of Earth. I'm going to pull another oracle from another deck, though, and then I'm going to read from the guidebook. So. Home. That's easy. And then at the bottom, you have unexpected visitors. Okie dokie. Ancient forest. What do you have to say? This is the third time I'm reading the card. I should be able to recite it soon from memory. Here we go. Okay. The meaning. Your roots go deep. Incredible, radiant, healing strength is available to you and grows within you. Do not doubt your abilities. You are much more than you can possibly imagine. There's immense, unseen, but very real support around you. You are loved and cherished. You are grounded, stable, and strong as your spirit reaches high into the heavens. Your native spirit wants you to know, throughout the world, those in indigenous cultures revere what are called the tree people. The powerful life forces of trees can bring healing, strengthening, and grounding energies. The kind of tree might vary from culture to culture, but the reverence and gratitude for its beneficial energies are the same. The ancient forest is alive with nature spirits. Additionally, each tree has an individual spirit, especially powerful and resilient. The forest can survive the harshest conditions because of the mutual support of the spirit of the entire forest. Your greatest strength is silent and deep. It doesn't need a show of force. It just is. Inner power is found through contemplation, reflection, and meditation. Sometimes it comes from times of growth and change. Other times it springs from surviving and conquering painful situations. So you are recommended here to adopt a tree or go hug a tree, spend time with trees. And you do have like the tree a second time there. Let's see what home is saying. Okay. You are comfortable in your own skin. You belong. Peace, security, safety, belonging, and all the features one would want from home are indicated now. The home card represents an invitation to experience what it's like to be secure in your own skin, to live comfortably no matter what is happening in the world around you. It is a time for opening your eyes to your tribe of like-minded people, or one special person who makes you feel like you've come home. Home is love, and love is all around you now. Whatever your inquiry, you are where you're meant to be and will reap great benefits by staying on this path regardless of where it leads. Home will always be with you. It is where the heart is. So I will let you interpret that how you feel. And I will leave it there. So Scorpio North Node, I hope that that resonated with you, and I wish you all the best for the next 3 months. I will see you soon. Take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.